Hello there, everyone. It's a surprise live. Well, not really, because I had been telling you guys that I was going on live for a couple of days. And the reason why it has been held up, let me show you guys something. Okay, is because I'm trying to give you guys the exact information, not really rely on somebody else's interpretation of information, but really go to the source and then report to you guys. You guys know that's what my specialty is, right? Bringing you guys the exact facts, proof, the evidence, and the clues regarding Michael Jackson's death announcement, the family, and any of the associated events surrounding the Jacksons, right? So, there's the Paris lawsuit, right? Her second one. She lost the first one. And not only did she lose the first one, but she also has to pay the attorney's fees for the estate who defended it. So then she don't like to lose, right? Because she's a little hothead like her mama, Debbie, right? Debbie Rowe. She files another lawsuit, right? So I wanted to read both lawsuits, right? And so I had been waiting. And so look, okay, I want to talk about this too. Okay, so this is the actual probate filing with the court. There's two of them. Now this one, it says decedent's estate general jurisdiction under court supervision on 4/30/2016, right? And I press this and it says that I can't get any of the documents. So I've been waiting for that to change, but it has not. So then that's one, and this says it's filed at 6/29/09, right? We know Michael Jackson's death announcement was on 5/29/09. So then I went ahead and I'm doing the search. Oh, I cleared it like a dum-dum search. And there's two. Why am I doing that wrong? Search. Okay, search. Okay, no match found. That's not true. That is not true. Let's do this again. Okay, let's do this again. Let's do this and let's do search. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we did the 6/29/09, but why was it opened like 5/29/09 and the death announcement was a month prior at 6/25/09? It's very odd, right? And one of them, the first was handled in the Santa Monica courthouse. Then it was moved to the Stanley Moss courthouse. So let's go to the 5/29 one and see if some of the vital information is different. And why is this website just straight tripping? Okay, I don't get it. Like now it's just hourglassing. So I cannot get the information that I want. So that's why I've been putting it off, guys, is because I can't seem to get the information I'm looking for. So let's do this again. So we want to select this one. Please wait. Here it comes. Okay, let's see. It's taking a long time. Golly. Gee, wizard. I want to go over this. So I couldn't get the documents. I'm telling you guys all this to say that I couldn't read the documents. So I'm going to have to go on, report to you guys on secondhand information. Okay. So it is still loading. Look at that. It's still loading. Okay. So let's go back. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this one says case type probate, other general jurisdictions. This one doesn't say decedent. Oh, there it does. It says it up there. Okay, Michael Joseph Jackson. We know that's not his name. His name is Michael Joe Jackson. We know that. Filing date 5/29/09. Couldn't have been a decedent on 5/29/09 because the death announcement was 6/25/09. And then it says here, status dismissed. Other on 6/15/2018. Why is everything involving the Michael Jackson death just wrong, confusing, mix matching, not making any sense? Because he didn't die. That's the only reason why. So now I want to access and see. I can't access any of the documents. None. Okay, so guys, that's why I have been delaying going live, because I wanted to read the articles so I can report to you guys on that. I will get to it. I will get to it. But before I do, I want to do a couple of things, okay? The first thing that I want to do is Barry Gordy had a birthday. He's 86 years old. Oh my goodness. Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy is 86 years old. You know, my dad is going to be 93 on January 1st. Bless you, God. Bless you. Thank you. Barry Gordy was born on November 28th, 1929. So he's 3 years older than my dad, who was born January 1st, 1933, I think. Yeah, 33. Yeah, 33. So he will be 93. Okay, on the 1st of January. So we wish Barry Gordy many more years and thank him. I remember when I met him, when I attended Papa Joe's memorial when Papa Joe Jackson died. And I went, and it was my absolute pleasure to be there. Just my absolute pleasure to be there. And it wasn't a pleasure that he died, but to be amongst the Jackson family and their associates and to take part of such a personal event. You know, Papa Joe Jackson, I knew him more than I knew any of the other Jacksons besides Michael. Besides Michael. Me and Michael been talked on the phone. Peter Michael Bobby called me. Not called me. He contacted me a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, a week or so ago, and sent me something that I didn't quite understand. But anyway, I was happy to hear from him. Okay, so I met Barry Gordy at Papa Joe's memorial. He was with Suzanne DePass. You know, she was kind of the manager of the group, the Jackson Five, when they first got to Motown, and she was very instrumental in Barry giving them a look. You know, Gladys Knight had a part of him. Bobby, oh my God, why do I always forget his name? Bobby Jones? No. The one that really brought him to Motown, the Jackson Five to Motown. But anyway, so we wish Barry Gordy a very happy birthday. Okay, we're going to get to, and then B. Howard, you know, I'm telling you guys, he is Michael Jackson's biological son. And he is that child, that boy, that son that is sang about, that Michael wrote that song and the lyrics, Billie Jean. Every single solitary thing matches. Okay, so let's show you the picture of, oh God, I got to open up another Facebook, because I have a couple Facebook things open, and I'll show you the picture that I just Brandon had posted. B. Howard had posted. You know, somebody at the gym comes up to me and he says, we talking about, you know, artists and stuff, and he says, oh, do you know B. Howard? I'm like, yeah, I know B. Howard. So that was kind of interesting, right? Maybe. Okay, so this is Brandon, a younger Brandon, with, I think this is Sherry Gordy and Barry Gordy. Okay, this is, I don't know quite who she is, but there's Brandon. Look at him sitting right near Barry Gordy. Okay, so that's just another thing with Brandon. Okay, he sounds just like Michael. He acts like Michael. He looks like Michael. Got the exact lips of Michael. Has that gap that Catherine has, right? He's talented like Michael. You know, we're going to go over the lyrics of Billie Jean, because 2 days ago was the 43rd anniversary to the release of the world's greatest, most popular selling album, Thriller, which is also the best selling in the USA. And I do not buy not one iota that the Eagles' greatest hits outsold Thriller in the United States. No, absolutely not. Can't find not one even close comparable to where you go, oh, I could see how the Eagles outsold Thriller. No, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, the comparable stats are a big, gigantic gap from Michael's stats to the Eagle stats. So it was an anniversary on the 30th of November, and we're gonna go. Let's just go through the lyrics of Billie Jean real quick. I want to go through first Thriller. I got a lot to get to. I didn't think I had very much. Thriller, Wikipedia. Okay, Thriller Wikipedia. Okay, so we're just gonna go through just the song list first. Okay, just the song list of Thriller, and then we're gonna go through the lyrics of Billie Jean. Okay, so there's so much here. Okay, so here we go. All right, so these are the songs on Thriller, right? Want to be starting something. Billie Jean is always talking when nobody else is talking, right? Right? Telling lies and rubbing shoulders. They call her mouth the motor, right? Okay, so we know that Mickey said she signed an NDA. That goes to Billie Jean's always talk when nobody else is talking. They call her mouth the motor. He's telling her to shut up because she said she signed an NDA. Okay, which means she can't tell. Okay, right under this song is Baby Be Mine. It's supposed to have been written by Rod Temperton, produced by Quincy, and performed by Michael. But how does a white guy get Baby Be? Baby Be Mine. Baby Be Mine is black slang. So I think Rod, just like Rod wrote Thriller, but Michael asked him to, it was called Starlight, I think. And I asked him to change it. Okay, so here we go. Want to be starting something. Baby Be Mine. Mickey Howard, Brandon Howard's mama, had a song called Baby Be Mine. And Michael eventually bought it as a part of his catalog. Okay. The Girl Is Mine. Okay, The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. That was the one that led off the whole release of Thriller. Okay, he thought he wanted to cross over and get black audiences and white audience, and who was not better than Paul McCartney, who has been so respectful of black music and so much in awe of black musicians. So The Girl Is Mine. So you got to remember, with The Girl Is Mine, is Michael talking about how Augie Johnson, the play father, the cover-up father, and they had to act like they were a couple. And Michael's saying, in reality, she my girl. She's mine. Okay, Thriller. That's just a great song. Beat It. That's just a rock song. He wanted something to make sure it crossed over. And they said it was similar to My Sharona. My Sharona. All black people love that rock song. All black people love that rock song because it was a jam. Okay. And then we have Billie Jean here, right? Billie Jean. We're going to go over the lyrics of Billie Jean. Human Nature, PYT, because that was supposed to be Quincy's wife had lingerie, and it was made by PYT and Pretty Young Thing. And Lady in My Life, was that a song that Michael was singing about Mickey Howard? Okay, there's a lot of things about Michael we do not know that I am finding out. Okay, so let's go to the lyrics of Billie Jean. And I want to go through how the lyrics tell us everything. Okay, on a video a while ago, during the release, through the Thriller mania, which is 82, 83, 84, probably around 83, Michael says, I have it on camera in one of my videos where Michael admits that it is a true story. He says there's a lot of truth to that story. I'm going to be adding that into Alive 5. I'm also going to be adding more stuff about, Alive 4, excuse me. I'm going to be adding that into Alive 4. I'm going to re-edit Live 4 and add more. See, Brandon is Michael Jackson's son, okay? Also, the guy, I also have a recording in a previous video about, we're going to get to Paris. We're going to get to all that. Okay. I didn't think I had this much to say. You know what, you guys, I'm putting on a little weight. Don't let me forget. Okay. Well, let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. Also with Billie Jean, I have another video, and the video is from the director of the video, Billie Jean video. And he says that Michael wanted, and this was at the making of, while they're doing the video, this interview. And the director says, we had to create the streets that look like the streets of Chicago. Okay? Who is from Chicago? Mickey Howard. Okay? I'm just telling y'all, everything is there for us to know that Brandon is Michael's biological son. Okay, we're going to get to more. But anyway, wait. Okay, when you get of a certain age, if you get thin, I lose weight in my face. It's going to sag and wrinkle more. So I've been fighting with, do I want a thin, cute body shape? Or do I want a face that doesn't look old, right? I'm choosing my face. What would you choose? Would you choose your face or your body? What would you choose at the age of 62? What would you choose? Okay, but anyway, that's up to y'all. I just wanted to say that. All right. So anyway, so now let's do the lyrics to the lyrics to Billie Jean. I've been meaning to do this for a while. The lyrics to Billie Jean. Okay, let's do the lyrics to Billie Jean. Okay, here's the lyrics. Okay. Now, Billie Jean, Mickey Howard nickname was Billie because she loved Billie Holiday, right? Billie Holiday. So much so that we have proof because in Spike Lee's Malcolm X, Mickey Howard played the role of Billie Holiday. Okay, so we know that that's true because when you go for rehearsals, Mickey is not an actress. She doesn't have a lot of movie credits to her career, right? So when you go and audition, you already know the role you're going to audition for. So she auditioned for the role of Billie Holiday in the Spike Lee movie. Spike Lee, who played Billie Holiday in Malcolm X biopic. Okay, here we go. Malcolm X. They don't even know the answer without going like this, because Wikipedia is like, they didn't even, you don't even know. Let me go Google. Let's see if Google knows. I know the answer, but we're going to go to Google because I like Google. I really like Google. I like Google even more than AI, you know, but AI is catching it quick, boy. Okay, let's see. See, go to Google quickly, right? Go to quickly. Okay. So singer Mickey Howard played Billie Holiday in Spike Lee's 1992 film Malcolm X. Okay, that's her. Okay, she also had an album. Okay, watch this. What is the name of Mickey Howard's Billie Holiday album? I'm sorry. Okay, I don't do this. I do not make this stuff up. Okay. Michael tells you. Okay, Mickey Howard's album tribute to Billie Holiday is entitled Mickey Sings Billie, a tribute to Billie Holiday, released in 1993. Okay. So the part about her liking Billie Holiday and nickname Billie, okay, it's not something I make up. We got proof of it by her choosing to play the role, to audition for the role of Billie Holiday in Spike Lee's Malcolm X. We have the next year her singing tribute, an album to Billie Holiday. Okay, so she is telling us, I am Billie Jean. I am that Billie. Okay, all right. So, and then having a song called Baby Be Mine, just like Michael buys the song for his catalog. I'm just saying, I showed you guys the proof in another video. Okay, so we got the name, we got Chicago, right? We got the timing, okay? Now, Michael's lyrics, we're going to get to something. Brandon. Okay, what year was Brandon Howard? Brandon Howard's birthday. Brandon Howard birthday. Brandon Howard birthday. Okay. Brandon Howard's birthday. I know it's April 2nd, 1981. Okay. Billie Jean. Okay. They was conceived between Off the Wall and Thriller. Okay. He was born April 2nd, 1981. The album comes out a year and a half later, right? In November of 1982. That's when the album comes out. So we got the timing, okay? We got the timing when he was born and when he was conceived and Michael writing the song. All right there for us, right? Now, we also know that the pretend dad, Augie Johnson, is on the credits of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album, right? Right? And there's more. There's way more. Okay, I'm probably not going to remember everything, but there's way more. Okay, so Off the Wall, Augie, Johnson, Mickey Howard. Okay, Mickey Howard also was a part of Augie's group called Side Effects. Okay, she was one of the singers. Okay, here she is right here. Okay. Now, I believe that Augie is the cover-up dad. Okay? That's what I believe. I believe Augie is the cover-up dad. Okay? I believe that they made a deal with them. Augie, Mickey Howard, how about Off the Wall background singer. Okay. We also know Joe Jackson was Mickey Howard's manager. I have released a sign-in book at Joe's management offices where Mickey signs in circa 1979, 1980. It's all there. Joe was her manager. Okay. So let's put this in here now. And Mickey Howard, Baby Be Mine came out in 1987. Okay. Augie died. Yeah, I talked to Augie. Augie and I interviewed together, and he did not remember dates like I did. Okay. Now let's go Off the Wall, Augie Johnson. Let's look through my stuff because I know it's not going to be there. Off the Wall, Augie Johnson. Let's see if it comes up. Off the Wall, Augie Johnson. Here it is. Here are the credits right here. Okay. So we know that Mickey was right there, right with Michael. We know, right? Right there. Okay. Here we go. Composed by Michael Jackson. Additional background vocals, Augie Johnson. Okay. This is one of the credits for Off the Wall album. So we know that the access is right there. The timing is perfect. Everything matches with Brandon. Everything. So now let's go through the lyrics of Billie Jean. Okay, let's do the lyrics of Billie Jean. Let's see, Michael Jackson lyrics. The first line. The first freaking line, right? She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Beauty queen? Beauty queen. So he's telling her that she a beauty queen, that she does something with beauty queen contestants, because more like. So she does something with beauty contests, right? Right? She does something with beauty contests, right? Okay, let's do this one. All right, Mickey Howard. Oh, Michael also drew a picture of Mickey Howard. Okay, so we might as well just show that one. I'll just do that. But beauty contest. Okay, so Mickey Howard, here it is. Michael drew this picture. Michael drew this picture of Mickey Howard. It was auctioned. Somebody misunderstood that it was a picture of Latoya. That don't look nothing like Latoya. It was just written wrong, okay, underneath something, and it was supposed to be the top, whatever. So why Michael drawing pictures of Mickey Howard? Huh? You know that's her. Everything about that picture is Mickey Howard. Okay? Now, beauty queen contest. Let's look here. Okay. Here we go. Chance to portray Malcolm X. Oh, here she go. When Mickey Howard was in her early teens, her mother moved the family to Los Angeles. Already aiming at a career in music, the 15-year-old Howard received her first break when she participated in a teen beauty contest. I don't make this up. Okay, leader happened to be in the audience, impressed. Side effects after casting. The director saw her perform some Billie Jean tunes in New York, blah, blah, offer her a chance to portray Holiday. So anyway, so Mickey sings Billie. Okay, the way that they say it, a casting director saw her perform Billie Holiday and asked her to portray. So maybe she didn't maybe they just offered it to her. Yeah, right. Okay, I believe she went out for the role. And no matter what, she went out for the role. No matter what, she was still singing Billie Holiday songs because that was her favorite artist, Billie Holiday. So I'll make it up. So we got where she's from. We got a description of what she did because she was more like a beauty queen in the first line of Billie Jean. So there is no way anybody can ever convince me that Brandon is not Michael Jackson's biological son. Okay, so we got that. Okay, Michael drawing pictures of her and all this other stuff. All right. So and here's the address book. You want to see the Joe Jackson address book I talked about? Okay, here we go. Here we go. This was the visitor's log of Joe Jackson's book. It was auctioned off, and there she is. Okay, they said it was circa 79, 80. Okay, I don't make this stuff up. Okay, I don't make this stuff up. Michael's friend. Let's see who else is in here. Any other names we know visiting Joe? I don't know. I don't know. But Mickey Howard, there she is, 99. Just saying. So we got her in the light, and Joe was her manager. Okay, let's see this. Let's ask Google, since Google's so good. And Mickey even says Joe managed her. Okay, even Mickey even says, hold on, let me see what this description on the side says here. This has to be, but sign in since Brandon was a regular at Havenhurst. Okay, Augie claimed that Mickey didn't even know before she got pregnant. Mickey, he lying. He the cover-up dad. He the cover-up lad. And who knows if Michael's still writing this stuff. Just putting stuff out there with any name on it and just making confusion. Okay? Hey, Brandon's brother, his last name. And why does his other son, Nicholas, have the last name of Johnson for Augie Johnson, but Brandon doesn't? And Brandon is not mentioned in the obituary of Augie as a surviving child. I'm just saying. Let's see if I can find that. The obituary. Because you guys know I research and I tell everybody. She says, I am not Billie Jean. Yeah, because somebody pulled your little coattail and said you signed an NDA, right? Shut up. So she had to say, I ain't Billie Jean, in order for whatever the punishment was for telling, she would not have to face that wrath. Just kind of like how the Michael biopic was going to do something about the charges with the Gordy Chandler family, and somebody pulled that coattail, said, you can't say nothing. You can't talk about it because of an NDA. Okay, so anyway, and in her biopic that aired on TV One, they don't even mention the Jacksons. How could you not mention the Jacksons when you were managed by Joe Jackson, the #1 family manager of the largest, most successful entertainment family in the world, and he is your manager, and you do somebody does a biopic on TV One and don't mention it? That's because they're covering it up. And they mention Augie real quick. Okay. So anyway, what was I looking for? I was looking for something else. Let's see. But anyway, they shut her up. Okay. They shut her up. Okay. So she had to come out and deny it, or she would have to face whatever financial or whatever it was. So she could not tell. All right. So anyway, so now let's go finish the lyrics of Billie Jean. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean I am the one? She's like, what do you mean you pregnant by me? What do you mean? I'm back to the lyrics. Who will dance on the floor in the round? That's have sex. That's what Michael considers who will dance on the floor in the round. Okay. That's have sex. She said, I am the one who will dance on the floor in the round. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she caused the scene. Oh, we got to talk about the Billie's jeans. Right. Right? I did a video, right? Where the guy that, what was his name? He was Australian. What was his name? Oh my God. Oh, I know his name so well. But anyway, he had the warehouse of all Michael's stuff. He was a monument builder. And they were going through all Michael's stuff that he had in this warehouse. And it was so phenomenal. And I did a video about it, guys, right? And Michael had Billie's Levi's jeans, Billie's jeans. I told y'all it was because she looked good in them jeans. That's what Michael said. And as she calls the scene, then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one who will dance on the floor in the round. Who gonna get that? Who gonna get in that? That's what he's talking about. People always told me, be careful what you do and don't go around breaking young girls' heart. He. And my mother told me, be careful of who you love and be careful of what you do because the lie becomes the truth. He denied that the baby was his. He denied that she was pregnant by him. He denied it. Okay. And then when the baby was born, that lie became the truth. Oh. Okay. Billie Jean, then he was saying what he was saying during the whole pregnancy. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I'm the one. But the kid is not my son. But the kid is not my son. No, ooh, woo. Right? Kid is not my son. Verse 2. For 40 days and 40 nights, he's telling you, pregnancy, 40 weeks of pregnancy, right? The law was on her side. Okay. The law was on her side, saying if he the baby daddy, then you got claims to him. Okay. But who could stand when she's in demand, her schemes and plans, cause we danced on the floor in the round because we had sex. So a lot of guys that have sex with women and they have an orgasm and they release their sperm inside of a woman and she gets pregnant, they think she did it on purpose. We can't just make it pregnant. We get pregnant because you give us the sperm to get pregnant with. We can't do that by ourselves. But a lot of people, and I remember around the 80s, all this time, it's her fault. She did it to trap me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, want to be starting something. You're a vegetable. They eat off of you. You're a buffet. He's saying people want everything from him. They're eating off of him. Okay, that's what he was feeling, like he was being used. Okay, eat off of you. Okay, so he said we danced on her schemes and plans because we danced on the floor in the round. So now he's admitting, yeah, we had sex because we danced on the floor in the round. Yep, we had sex. So take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Don't think twice. And I think it is think twice, okay? Do think twice, right? Who? She told my baby we danced until 3, then she looked at me. They remixed it. Michael went in because I bet you the lyric says she told me my baby was next to 3, which means Brandon was 2. And he would have been 2 at the time that Billie Jean was released. Okay, the song Billie Jean, he was next to 3. He would have been around 2 when the whole Billie Jean thing came out, right? That's what I think. Because she told my baby we danced till 3. That don't even make sense. We danced till 3. Then she looked at me. Then showed a photo of baby crying. His eyes were like mine. Oh, no! That's what he said. The eyes are like mine. Oh no. Which is, damn. It is my baby. His eyes are just like mine. Oh man. It's my son. It's my son. 'Cause we danced on the floor in the round. 'Cause we did have that sex. Okay. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. But she came and stood right by me. This is very important. But she came and stood right by me. That means she had access to him. Just the smell of sweet perfume. Yeah, we gonna hook you. We gonna get you. I would have did the same thing, Mickey. I would have did the same thing. Okay? This happened much too soon. Okay, he was seduced by the jeans, how she looked. She was involved in beauty teen contests. She could sing. She was in the house. Okay? Because he says she called me to her room. Mickey lived at Havenhurst. And I showed you guys a quote by another girl who said that Joe was setting her up with Michael. Somebody that wrote for Right On Magazine or something. I should go back and find it. But she called me to her room. That means they're under the same roof. They living together. Because he didn't say to the house. He didn't say, she said, come over to my house. He said she stood next to him like she was in the house. She stood next to him. She smelled a sweet perfume. And then she called, hey, Michael, why don't you come in my room for a minute? Why don't you come to my room for a minute, Michael? Why don't you come in here? And then the way she looked in the jeans, and Mickey was bold. She still is bold. Okay? And she probably seduced him, and then they danced in the round. Danced on the floor in the round. So you wonder if they were on the bed, on the floor, where they do it at. Okay? Where they do it at. Okay? So he's telling you, because Mickey lived at the house. Okay? Billie Jean, then he goes back to the chorus. It wasn't mine. The baby ain't mine. They said I'm the one. The kid ain't my son. She's just a girl that claims that I'm the one. Okay? She says that I'm the one, but she's just a girl that claimed, but the kid is not my son. So that's what we heard over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Because Michael signed an NDA with Mickey not to tell that that was her son. So we got the song and we got what happened. Now tell me I'm not dreaming. Okay, I want to go to that song real quick. It's a Jermaine and Michael duet. I think it's one of his best vocals. Okay, tell me I'm not dreaming. Okay, Michael Jackson, Jermaine. Okay, Michael, tell me. Oh, lyrics. Let me put lyrics. I love this lyric. I love this song. Tell me I'm not dreaming. Okay, so Jermaine does the first verse. Then Michael comes in. Are you too good to be true? Tell me I'm not dreaming. Tell me, are you too good to be true? Tell me I'm not dreaming. Michael. Midnight images of you. You slipped into my room. Okay, they might have did it more than once, right? Could be magic, could be fantasy. Could it be we're in love? Tell me I'm not dreaming. Ooh, your voice whispers in the dark. You talking to my heart. Are you with me? Yeah, I am. Am I here with you? Are we in paradise? Okay. So he talks about, I think he didn't write this. He didn't write this song. This is not a song he wrote, but it's a song that he agreed to do. And maybe when he read the lyrics, he probably said, that's just like what happened. Okay. Cause it has to be a special moment because your child came out of that. You remember that. You remember that sex and Michael was so secluded and so isolated, right? And so protected. And everybody knew who he knew and who was coming around. Somebody knew. Okay, because he had Bill Bray, who was his personal security. He had his father always looking and lurking, called the Hawk, right? So I believe that with that lyric of Billie Jean, he tells us the whole story. Okay. And then there's all kinds of pictures of Brandon with the family throughout the years. Everybody knows him. Even Majestic at the Conrad Murray trial. Majestic was Joe's buddy. They were downstairs at the cafeteria talking all chummy like they know everybody. They all know Brandon, but it's all on the hush hush. Okay. At least it was up until June 25th, 2010, when Brandon thought that he could come out as Michael's son. Okay. And Alejandra, who is the mother of Michael's nieces and nephews, Alejandra, who has kids by Jermaine and Randy, took Brandon to Japan. Right? Why is she taking Brandon to Japan unless Brandon is this close to the family? Okay. I was going to show the obituary. This close to the family, right? Let me see if I can find the obituary. Augie Johnson's obituary. Obituary. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Found it. Okay. So, here is Augie Johnson's obituary. Okay. Augie was a singer, producer, writer, arranger, blah, 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 blah. He worked with Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Quincy Jones, Boz Scaggs, and Michael Jackson. Left to cherished memories of his love and laughter are his fiancée, Kathy DeLay, and his children, Toy Carmichael, Damon Johnson Sr., Tashima Comwell, Nicholas Howard Johnson. That is Brandon's brother, okay, by Mickey Howard, okay, Mickey Howard, Amber Johnson, August Johnson Jr., and 8 grandchildren and a great-grandson. No Brandon. So maybe after they hooked up on, the cover-up, they fell in love or they had sex and they got together and they had Nicholas. Nicholas got Johnson. I asked Augie on our interview, what last name? What's Brandon's last name on the birth certificate? I don't know. Who's listed as the father on the birth certificate? I don't know. That's what he told me. I don't know. How do you not know? And then he said it could be a mama's baby, papa's maybe. Okay, so he can't tell either because he was part of signing the NDA too, right? Okay, since he the cover-up dad, he was probably paid some money, right? Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to go through that, okay? And why would Michael hide his son? Okay, why would Michael hide his son? Well, because he was embarking, you got to remember timing, between Off the Wall, the success of Off the Wall, which didn't bring him everything that his dreams were made of. Billie Jean, and he was determined, fierce. He said he would put on armor and he would say to himself every day, the biggest selling album in the world. And he said, I meant it. And he said, I was angry. I had a recording of that and I don't know what I did with it, but when I find it, I will post it. Okay. All right. So everything he had in him was wrapped up in the next album being the biggest selling album of all time. And him being a baby daddy or being married, he thought would ruin his bachelor status, that girls would not be swooning over him, fainting over him, dreaming they could be with him if he looked like a father, if he looked like a married man. He was mad at his 3 brothers that got married at 18 because he thought it ruined their bachelor availability status. Okay? Marlon, Jermaine, and Tito got married at age 18. Michael did not want anything to come between making his dream come true. But he had to tell about it because it's messing with his head. Okay? So that's that. Now, I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to get into some more stuff. We got into that. Okay. Brian Michael Staller. I interviewed Brian Michael Staller about some movie he did with a dog. And then I saw him at another time, and he seems like he was mad at me because of the death investigation that I do. Not that, I'm not going to even entertain that. I believe what other people say. I believe the family when they said Michael died. Oh yeah. You didn't get the other part of the story, did you? But anyway, Fabio. Okay, let's go to Facebook. Okay, Fabio. Here we go. Fabio is the guy that looks like Michael, but he's much younger. He was very young when Michael was born. See, that is Brian Michael Staller. He also did the Castaway movie in which Michael played Agent MJ, right? There you go. Okay. So just found out this same MF is supposedly making a movie with Fabio. So why is he calling him an MF? Is this movie supposed to be another biopic that picks up when Michael's skin turned white? I'm just thinking, because this guy Fabio, I remember I felt something weird because it was making all kinds of news that he didn't have a reaction to watching the Michael trailer. That, to me, it was a nothing burger. And I was like, this is all a setup. That's what I thought. It was all a setup. So if he's going to be acting in a Michael movie or doing something in a movie with Brian Michael Staller, then that would make sense. But he went overboard. Okay, because a lot of people don't like him because he did not want to admit that Michael Jackson was black. He wanted to say things bad about black Africans and say Michael ain't one of them. Yeah, we are. We are. Our people got picked up, kidnapped, and went through horrible, horrible hell in the Middle Passages for us to survive today. Okay? And we should never be ungrateful for that. They survived a freaking living hell. Okay? So that we can survive today. Okay? So when he says Michael's not really black, yeah, he is. Well, he's not really like he's from the Congo. Yeah, he probably has some of that in him too. Okay? So he did not ingratiate himself. And then saying Catherine is part Chinese or something crazy. Catherine ain't no part Chinese, Japanese. And when TJ did a DNA, Tito's son did a DNA, there's no Native American. So that whole story about Jack's son and the Native American, it does not root in the DNA that Taj Jackson had. Okay, because a lot of us black people were told we were part Native American. Native Americans are Asians. Okay, their fold of their epicantic fold has just softened because of the climate. They didn't need their eyelashes to go down as far because there's not as many rains and monsoons like there is in Asia, where the people with the epicantic fold live, and that's why their eyes are that way, for eye protection. Okay, so he said Catherine was Japanese or something. He's just crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So a lot of people, that was not good. Somebody should have told him, don't hit the race issue. And if he playing Michael, I hope he don't go in blackface, because that's very insulting if you knew the history of blackface and black people. Okay. So anyway, so that's kind of weird. All right. So we did okay. Paris had released, and I thought I saved it. I thought I did, but I think that it went, maybe it is in my, let's go to my Instagram. I want to show you guys something. I hope I still have it. Okay, let's go into my messages, because I think I sent it to myself in a message. Where are my messages? Here it goes. Sent an attachment. No, it's gone. Oh, it's gone. You know why it's gone? Because it's gone off of hers. Well, anyway, she did an Insta story, and it was about a charity. right? And it had all kinds of kids and all kinds of people there. And there were black kids and white kids and Latino kids and a lot of kids. And she posted it, and she didn't show herself in any of the photos. But I was wondering if that was a dig at Prince and an acknowledgement that she listens. You know what I mean? Because it was black kids and white kids and other kids. And I've been complaining about Prince's Healed LA Foundation, where he's omitting black kids and white kids. Okay. And maybe even Asian kids. He has omitted them and has not highlighted. And he has black people giving money to the organization and helping. And he has black people. But where are the black kids getting toys and gifts and having water balloon fights and super soaker fights and having fun like that? Where are the black kids and the white kids having that? I don't see it. Especially the black kids piss me off. Okay. So I wonder if Paris, because Paris apparently has unfollowed Prince. I don't know if they can make up. They can make up tonight. They could have made up earlier today and not told anybody. But they are siblings. But it seems like they're rivaling a little bit. Okay. I am worried about Miss Latoya. And so are other people that made the news. Latoya. Okay. Latoya, I don't think she realizes how really super thin she is. I don't think she realizes. I really don't. Okay, let's see. Latoya. Let's go here. Because one of the symptoms of anorexia is you don't know that you're that thin. You don't know. You think you're regular. Or matter of fact, you might think you're a little fat. You're seeing things that are different. You're something, it's a disease called anorexia. And when I saw Latoya in person at Joe Jackson's memorial, I said to myself, she 5 to 10 pounds from anorexia. She was so small, and I think she's finally there to where other news agencies have picked up on it. Look at that. Look at the arm. She is so scary thin. I'm scared for her. Latoya, baby. Latoya. And she's been saying she's went for a checkup and she's worried. And if you don't have enough meat on your bones or fat reserves, Latoya, how you going to fight off of disease? How you going to have the strength to fight off whatever ailments you have? And if you don't eat and you keep moving around your body, that's what killed Karen Carpenter. Karen Carpenter was one of the most beautiful voices of our lifetime. It's the Carpenters, okay? Just listen to her. Just beautiful, beautiful voice. She died of anorexia. And what killed her was she didn't eat. Because, her mother would tell her she had a big butt or something. And, the butt, if you have a big butt, you lose everything else. And the butt just kind of stays. But anyway, she got so thin. And her body started, with the energy it takes to move. All this takes energy off your body, and it comes off of the fatty cells. And if you continue to move and you have no fatty cells, your body will use the tissues of your vital organs to continue to move and operate. And that's how you die, because you have vital organ tissue deterioration. Well, it's not deteriorating, it's feeding itself. It's feeding. So I want Latoya, please, baby, please eat. Okay? Please. They might need to feed her intravenously. Gosh, so worried about her. All right. Let's see what else I have. And then I want to talk about a friend. Oh, let's do the alphabet commercial. Okay. Michael, this article here is kind of interesting. Michael said he knew he was writing it, that it was going to be a hit. Quincy thought it was a hit, but I don't think any of us knew how huge it was going to be. The making of Billie Jean, the single that transformed Michael Jackson into a phenomenon, and the performance at Motown 25. Shoot, can't forget that. Okay, so and Quincy Jones wanted him to change the name of the song to Not My Lover instead of Billie Jean, and thought that people would get it confused with the tennis star Billie Jean King, a woman. And Michael refused because he knew he was talking about, and he knew what seduced him, and it was Billie's jeans. Period. Okay? Period. All right. So then I was talking about, let's see, I did this. And let's see this other. I want to go with Paris. We're going to get to Paris in a second. Okay, so the Augie, we did Jermaine. Let's see what this is. Instagram, we did Latoya. What is this? Let's go here. And okay. So, a lot of people don't understand. Michael and kids falling asleep in his huge, humongous bed was not a sexual thing. Not. Okay? Because until they got triple-decker bunk beds in the bedroom, the boys shared beds when they were little. They shared beds until they were big enough to have their own bed. Okay? And Catherine and Joe could afford triple-decker bunk beds. Okay, for the boys, because there were 6 boys. The girls, Latoya, Janet, and Rebe slept in the living room. And then Catherine and Joe had their own bedroom. It was a little 2-bedroom house with 11 people living in it. Okay, so and then when they had to go on the road, right, they had to travel. The whole Chitlin circuit. Michael joined the group when he was 5 years old, right? And what was it, Lift Every Mountain? Was that the song he sang at the talent contest when Joe was like, oh my God, whoa, this kid's got remarkable talent. Rebe and Jackie were already in contest. Tito was sneaking, playing Joe's guitar, right? And Jermaine could sing too, right? And then Jackie, Jermaine, and Tito were a group. And then Michael was too little and he wanted to join the group, and Joe says no. And then Michael sung Lift Every Mountain, is that the name of it? At a talent contest, and Joe said, you're in the group. Then Marlon, Joe was like, no, Marlon can't. And Catherine was like, oh, hell no. Marlon is going to be in this group. Okay. So then you have the making of the Jacksons. So they had to travel, right? Joe didn't have hotel rooms and beds for all them kids. He couldn't afford that. They were poor. They were broke, right? They were making it happen out of sheer will and determination. Joe knew where they were headed. He just had to get there, but he knew his kids could do it, and he did whatever needed to be done to get them where they needed to be for our enjoyment, to change their life, to be successful. Well, look at this cartoon. Look at this commercial. It is the Jacksons with alphabet soup. Look at that. See? It's not a big deal. They're all sleeping in the same bed. It's not a big deal. So with Michael, when a kid fell asleep while they were having their slumber parties in his bed, and Michael's laying this way, and the kid's on this foot of the bed, and another one on this side of the bed, and the bed is huge. After they've played so hard, they've done video games, and Michael liked the company of the kids because people expected Jesus Christ or a Plato or Socrates to come out of his mouth every day, and he was just a guy that knew how to sing and dance really well. Okay, that's what he was. He's a human being, right? That his father was very determined. Okay, and Michael just could sing and dance. Okay, and so his other children all had these vast amounts of talent, and Joe knew it. Okay, so sleeping in the bed, even with the alphabet cereal commercial, showed them all in the bed. Not a big deal. They slept in the beds, all the same beds, when they were touring, before they got signed to Motown. So Michael had a completely different perspective and black people too, because most of us were poor in the 50s and 60s. 70s, 80s. A lot of us are poor now. Okay, poor now. Okay, we don't have the wealth that a lot of white people have. Okay, so we shared beds. That's just the way it was. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of bring that up to you guys. And then there was something else that I saw. Let's see what this is. All right, now let's get to Paris. Now let's get to Paris Jackson. Okay, Paris. She is suing the estate for the second time. Okay, the first time she was suing the estate because she thought that they were paying themselves, lawyers, too much money. They bonuses and all this stuff. So she filed a lawsuit, right? Why is she on the estate? You know, why? Okay, keep going. Then she lost that suit and had to pay the attorney's fees. So then she decided, I'm going to sue again. So then she sues again, complaining about a cash that is not being invested properly, 464 million. She said it's just sitting in a bank account. How come they haven't reinvested it? Okay, they're missing opportunities. Really? Your lawyers had to dig that far to find something wrong, to say that they didn't invest $464 million cash the way that they should have, when the estate has funded all these Michael projects? Are you kidding? Michael is the trustee and trustor of the estate. Michael Jackson is not dead. Okay? Michael Jackson is the brainchild behind the immortal Cirque du Soleil show. We already knew Michael wrote a note about Cirque du Soleil in his own handwriting. That was part of his plan, right? Let me see if I can find that. Okay. Note Cirque du Soleil. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Here's the note that Michael wrote. Okay. Come on. Okay. Here we go. Circus du Soleil. He said $10 million. Okay. AEG, Nike deal, Blue City, Al Noor, some Prime Fadia, hire accountants, I trust now, and lawyer, I want to meet him. Caution, caution, caution. He's saying, caution. He's like, be careful. Hire merchandising. I want to sign all checks over 5,000 now. Merchandising games. I want something now on all something as auction. I don't know. Monaco House. You know what Monaco House? That was, I believe, the trailer that he lived in after the death announcement on the Havenhurst property. That's what I think. Okay. Because Catherine was shopping for sleeping bags like it was no problem, like it was a regular old day 2 days after the death announcement. And then something says something here, but I don't know. But anyway, Cirque du Soleil. So Michael has been the brainchild behind Cirque du Soleil Immortal, Cirque du Soleil The One, MJ The Musical, the Halloween special. That was when in the IRS case that I covered, the Michael Jackson estate versus IRS, the guy talked about that was going to do the animated for the Michael Jackson Halloween special. Thriller Week is what I call the day. He talked about how they were already in the process before the death announcement came. Okay. Michael is the brainchild behind the biopic. Everything. Okay. He's not faking his death, sitting somewhere in a corner and just watching life happen. He is active. He is doing things because that's what he does. He's a creative genius. That's what he is. Okay. John Branca doesn't create like this. Okay. Neither does John McClane, even though he's a little more creative than Branca is, but both of those. So Paris is upset. Plus the album released, he was spending time in the studio. There was a studio bill. Michael was doing the revamping, finishing up the songs too that were on the Michael album, that was on the Escape album. Other unreleased songs, a Rare Pearl album, which was for me. Thank you. Thank you. And whatever other projects. I can't just think of them all, but there's been many projects, right? So Michael Jackson is the head of his estate. So we know Paris's history, where she's been mad at Michael several times because she's come out and dissed her family's race by having the Confederate flag boyfriend, Confederate flag loving boyfriend at Havenhurst property, where there was a fake note that did a quick deed transfer, and then she moved in. I'm just saying, okay? But then she had to move out too, okay? With that boyfriend. And then she did the Eagles thing. I went over that. And then she comes out and says the Michael movie is a bunch of lies and blah, blah. So if you're worried about Miss Paris Jackson, if you're worried about money not being invested properly, and you know that they are invested in the Michael biopic, that's kind of a conflict, a conflict of interest, conflicting interest. You say they're not investing the money well, and they could have made more money, but at the same time, you trying to poo-poo the Michael biopic that's going to bring in a whole bunch of money. Okay, so, so it's a battle. She's mad about something. Okay, the only thing that I can think of, okay, because it has to do with money, because that's what she's arguing about, money. Okay, money. And she's talking about how they're 3 years behind. They've been 3 years behind. They were 2 years behind, and then throughout these 16 years, they've gotten 1 more year behind, okay, of their accounting, right? But they always give a current summary of the current things that are happening before they get to the previous year's accounting. Okay, they say in such and such, we have done this, we've done that, we've done this, we've done that, we've done this, because I read them all, right? So I'm thinking that it has something to do with this, okay? This is, and I went over this many times, but some of you are new people. Some of you guys are brand new. And you don't know everything that I know. So sometimes I have to repeat. And it's to repeat for new people and a reminder for the rest of us, right? A reminder. So you got to remember the last will and testament that it's contested, because I'll get to when it was signed and why. Michael says Michael Joseph Jackson. Now, that's not his name. His name is Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, so Michael's playing games. Okay, I declare that I am not married. My marriage to Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson has been dissolved. It was never legitimate here in the United States. It was in Australia. And I don't even know if it was legitimate there. I have 3 children now living. Prince Michael Jackson Jr. Who the hell is that? Prince Michael Jackson Jr. That's not his name. His name is Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., which is crazy because Joseph ain't even his middle name. Paris Michael Catherine Jackson. Paris goes by PK. So Paris Catherine Jackson instead of PM. I'm just saying. Okay, that's supposed to be her real name. Prince Michael Joseph Jackson II. That's not his name either. His name is supposed to be Prince Jackson II. Right? Right? I have no other children living or deceased. How come he didn't initial that? He didn't initial that as true, right? Because look where all the initials go. So now he talks about his trust, in which he is the trustee and trustor, and the money goes to the Michael Jackson Family Trust, as amended and restated on March 22nd, 2002. Right? Oh, that's after Prince, Paris, and BG are born. So when I look at the trust, the living trust, guess what? The names Prince, Paris, and BG are not mentioned in any form whatsoever. He initialed that. Okay? So then we go down to, and see, all these initials, I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree. So he's saying that that's not his kid. Now, no, he is saying he's not copying to this statement being true. Okay? So here, he signs it right here, Michael Joseph Jackson. Now he can sign it Peter Pan. because this is supposed to be who he is. So he can name whatever name he want to name himself as long as this is his real signature. But other people cannot use the wrong name because they are not him. Okay, I described my name to this will this 7th day of July 2002. Well, we have video footage that Michael was in New York with Al Sharpton talking junk about Tom and Mottola during that weekend. So how is that true? So, and also, let's go to this paragraph right here. Okay, we already went through it. Okay, wait, here it is right here. This paragraph right here, paragraph 6. Except as otherwise provided in this will or in the trust referred to in the Article 3 thereof. Article 3, we went over it right here. Okay, this is where he initials. That's Article 3. Okay, he says, Article 3, I have intentionally omitted to provide for my heirs. I have intentionally omitted to provide for my former wife, Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson. That's the same paragraph. So that means this is all related, or it would have been a different paragraph. So, according to California law, Debbie gave custody of Prince and Paris to Michael. And Michael has some kind of custody with BG. I'm not quite sure how that worked. Somebody, Mark Shaffel, Debbie wanted to marry him to try to adopt Paris at one point. And then I guess somebody read her the will and said, never mind. The gay porn producer that did What More Can I Give? And when Michael found out he was a porn producer, Michael was like, it don't match. And he lost enthusiasm for the project. Okay. He went and got BG from Argentina. I heard that at the Mark Shaffel sues Michael Jackson trial in Santa Monica. That BG is from Argentina. I heard it there. It was only a handful of people that were there, and I was one of them. Okay. Linda Deutsch was there, but she died. She's not around anymore. Okay. Lundell McMillan was there. Okay. And Mr. King was the attorney for Mark Shaffel, who was part of the Frank Cassio lawsuit that we talked about. Okay, the shakedown, the extortion attempt by Frank Cassio. Okay, Frank Cassio. All right. So Mr. King was there. So there's a few of us that heard that the baby came from Argentina, and the parents were paid $300,000 in an RB bag, cash. Okay, so that's what came out of that. Okay, so you cannot disinherit children in California, okay, that are in your custody. It's against the law. Okay, they can emancipate, but as long as they're taking classes and they're students, supposed to be full time, but with the estate, I don't know, they finagle all kind of stuff up until age 26. Paris is now 27. And I remember Prince going off about money when he turned 27, saying he should have paid more attention to accounting. He should have paid more attention to monetary issues. Wonder if I have that. I wonder if I have that with the date. Prince money. Let's just see if I have anything. Prince money. And let's see. Certain things come up. Let's see. Not Prince Rogers Nelson. Prince Jackson. Because I remember him saying that he should have paid more attention to money. And I probably have it somewhere, but I don't see it here. Okay, I don't see it anywhere here. All right. So, anyway, and I'm going to get to my earrings in a minute. Okay. So, I'm wondering if she's giving him a hard time because she getting ready to get cut off. Okay? She was cut off at age 20, at age 26, which means at 27, you don't get nothing else. At age 27. Guess how old Paris is? She's 27. So is that her motivation? Is that she's cut off? and she trying to finagle or blackmail or give them a hard time or something. She trying to, shake the tree. Okay? She trying to shake that tree. Okay? To where Prince is probably like, if I got 50 million, I better figure out how to budget this and have this last. $1 million a year for 50 more years sounds pretty reasonable to live off of $1 million a year. I could live like a freaking queen for $1 million a year. Oh my God, how I could live for $1 million a year. Oh my God. I don't even know what that feels like. I don't even know but other people who spend a lot of money, they think $1 million a year is enough. BG, that's what they spent on him in the year 2021, $1 million. BG is not, money hungry. Okay. He's not, he just wants to make his movies, but he might shake the tree too if he need $20 million for a film he want to do. Okay. So I'm just saying, Paris is motivated by something. And I believe at age 27, she does not get any more money from the estate. Because it is Michael that wrote, he has intentionally omitted to provide for his heirs. And according to California law, you have to name those heirs that you want. Okay? To intentionally omit to provide for. And he said, don't give Debbie Rowe Jackson anything. So he's relating those kids, Debbie's kids, to not omitting. Okay? So I'm just reading the documents. I don't make any of this stuff up. I'm just reading the documents. Okay, so I want to give a thank you to someone who came and visited me at my store, and her name is Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing, girl? Let me show you the picture of Chris. Okay. And she said, Chris, at the time, I thought it was a guy. She said, I'm coming to California. I want to visit you. She's from Florida. And here she is. Here's my new friend, Chris. She came out and sampled some shea butter and got some shea butter. And she visited me at my store. And then we hung out and we went to a restaurant that her and her friends usually visit when they come out here, because it's the restaurant. What was it called? The Inn of Seven Seas or something. I can't remember it. I know if she's watching, she's going, Pearl, it's called this. But we went to the restaurant that Michael and Brooke Shields went to, and she sent me photographs of it, and I bet you I did not take them out of my phone. She sent them to me. I think she texted them to me. So I can't, I'll post them. Okay, I'll post them later. But anyway, so, and then she gave me a gift. Okay, see these earrings, y'all? See these earrings? They're butterflies and pearls. Oh, that was so sweet of her to give that to me. So I thank you so, so much. And I had a great time with you, Chris. We had great food, great conversation. And she is a diehard Michael Jackson fan. So thank you, Chris. And with that, I think I have went through everything. God, I thought I had... and then one last thing. There's more and more death hoax videos, which I'm happy about, okay, that Michael faked his death. But you guys aren't giving me any credit for that. You're using my investigation stuff, because a lot of the stuff you can't even find online anymore because it's been 16 years, right? But my Alive docuseries is available on michaeljacksoninsider.com. And we are going to start finishing up Alive 5 in January. But meanwhile, stays all day Shay. Let's do work and play. Because everybody has skin. Okay. This one is called Imagine Me. It's based off of the Louis Vuitton fragrance Imagination. Ooh, it's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. You guys got to order some Stays All Day Shay at the Skin Butter store. Okay, or come to the Skin Butter store and visit me, and I'll sample you as many samples as you want. Then you pick out a fragrance, okay? So, staysalldayshay.com or theskinbutterstore.com and order yourself some shea butter or some of the other soaps that we have. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful, safe life. And I will talk to you before the holidays, okay? So toodles. Bye, everybody. See you next time.